Dance. 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 You can see that look in my eye. Ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Roll up while I cry.
Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show. Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. Hello all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Today I'm gonna be talking about some random topics. You know me, different. I hope you guys are doing well in this crazy political climate. I know it's been quite the whirlwind, and one news after another. We never get a break. It's like every day, not even a weekend break of just not with the headlines or the voting or the TSAs or the war, just something different. You know what I mean? How you doing, Indra? As usual, you're first in line. Thanks for being supportive. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started because we do have a lot to cover here. Today, I'm not talking about doom. I'm talking about cycles. I'm talking about symbolism. I'm talking about the Four Horsemen, of course, the ancient people, the way of the ancient people actually understood them, not as monsters, not as prophecy, but as the life cycle of an age. That's going to be in Brain Food. I'm also going to be talking about various celebrity gossip and things of that nature. We're going to bring that up. And some just random topics as well. You know, I do my random news. I try to cover all interesting topics as much as possible. But, you know, I'm sure I'm going to miss a few. I mean, you can always put in the comment section and be like, hey, Keish, you forgot you put some in there. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Legacy. Welcome to the Truth Seeker family. I hope you are a loyal subscriber. Don't forget to follow my Patreon and all of those others, okay? So, again, like I was saying, let's talk about the gossip. But I know we're going to talk about the Four Horsemen, but we're going to talk about the celebrity gossip. But it's not about the fear-based Hollywood end of the world way people usually hear. I just want to give you a brief summary because, you know, Brain Food is my favorite subject, honestly. Like I told you, my favorite subject is politics, history, anything that's not celebrity gossip. I'm just be real. I just cover celebrity gossip because it's a hit ticket, and my truth seekers, as you, my viewers, my loves, y'all like hearing it, and I like to cover it with some kind of clarity, some passion, and in detail. And my gift, so to speak, of going deep into things, not to mention my intuition, have gotten me a lot of trouble in the past. And that's on my channel the way it is, which is never mind. But anyway, but we're going to talk about Hollywood. We're also going to talk about the end of the world. People usually hear it. I want to show you a symbolic interpretation that actually makes sense. And I already released the Seven Seals, and I also released the Four Horsemen. I released that video. I made that video some years ago, and every time I put it up, it just got demonetized, or it got flagged, or got copyrighted. So I'm currently fighting that. So please put in the atmosphere, put it in the stars. Don't pray to God because it never comes true. Just put in the atmosphere. Just say, let the truth seeker, Keisha's truth seeker, Four Horsemen, Seven Seals pass the review. Okay, just do that, please. Okay, do that for me. Oh, thank you, Legacy. Thank you. And welcome, Indra. She's another loyal subscriber. She's holding it down in the comment section. She really do. Okay, now. Okay, so let's get started. And don't forget to share, you guys. Share. Okay, so I do want to get deep into that because, like I told you, politics, history, myths. Let's see here. Oh, and true crime. I love true crime. I really want to turn this whole channel into politics, history, myths, breaking, old historical stories and things of that nature, and true crime. I want to turn it. I don't even want to talk about celeb gossip unless it's hot topics or something and I have to talk about it. But I really don't want to talk about celeb gossip, primarily because I know I won't be meeting these people and probably working with them, and I have to explain to them why I talked about them like a dog in my channels, and that's going to be a very not looking forward to conversation. Anyway, so I do want to definitely get into the deep talks about the symbolicness of the interpretation that actually makes sense in terms of history, astrology, and things of that nature. And the Four Horsemen. There aren't literal beings. You're not going to see men with horse. These are kind of like symbolism. You know what I'm saying? They are like 4 stages of life within that age. So I'm going to break that down in plain English. If you haven't saw the 7 Seals video, or if you haven't saw the little clip, the short clip that I also released as well, which should have been a preview prior to you coming to this live show. Don't worry, at the end of the live show, I definitely link that 7 Seal video. Please check it out because it definitely explains a whole great deal. Okay? Okay. Now, let's start with the show here. We are going to start with politics. Been a long time since I put up that banner. All right, so starting off with politics here, okay, we do have Trump says peace talks progressing as Iran officials deny negotiation. I'm just going to say here, I may mispronounce some words. That's because once I get in the zone, I really don't realize what I be saying. I'll be seriously getting into character so I can entertain you best possible way, because you aren't seeing my face. You are seeing my, you seeing my slideshows and hearing my voice. So I have to sound entertaining while I'm talking to you guys, so you won't fall asleep. So I may go into character. Can I speak? I may go into character and literally don't realize that I mispronounce words or anything of the nature, because I'll be seriously in the zone. Okay. Don't hesitate to call me on the comment section, because I'm always reading the comment because I don't get many. So don't hesitate to do that. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about Trump. This peace talks progressing in Iran, which I'll be saying Iran and Iran or Iran. I'll be saying it 3 different ways. So just go with the flow. All right. So it seems that Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey have taken the lead in efforts to broker a peace deal between the United States and Iran, though conversations have been in direct dust. Okay. Now listen to me carefully, because Trump, he's a pathological liar and he never tells the truth. Okay. Now today I want to update you on new efforts to the end of the war. I'm saying that, put it in present tense. Now, between the United States and Iran, right now, countries like Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey are stepping up as go-betweens, trying to broker peace by relaying messages between the Trump administration and Iran leaders. Now, after the president gave Iran a 48-hour deadline, I don't know who the hell you think he is, but he gave Iran a 48-hour deadline to reopen the crucial Strait of Hormuz, or risk having its energy infrastructure destroyed. Now, these you got to understand, these mediating countries began a flurry of calls and diplomatic outreach to cool things down. Now, Trump has since extended the deadline by 5 days, and that important agreements may be within reach. He's trying to intimidate this man, and he cannot do that to infrastructure because it will literally taint the surrounding countries or continents around it that also rely on Iran for many things. So if he keep fucking with Iran, it's going to mess up everybody, and they're going to all hate us. And we don't need to be in wars with all these goddamn countries and continents because one pissed off shithead and our freaking goddamn Congress people and Senate people won't vote this son of a bitch out because they too chicken shit. Yeah, Kiki is definitely going full throttle with this goddamn live show because it's pissing me off. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so moving right along here. So far, these talks have been indirect and handling through mediators. Now, Iran officially denies any calls or talks that's been happening. He said he have not spoken to Trump. He don't know what Trump is talking about. And just paraphrasing, he has not negotiated a damn thing with Trump. So everything Trump is saying is a bald-faced lie. That's what Iran is saying. Okay? Iran officially denies any talks are happening, even as international efforts continue behind the scenes. Pakistan in particular has offered to host direct talks if both sides agree. Turkey and Egypt are also involved, and they, along with Saudi Arabia, are trying to combine their influence to push for a calm in the region. Like, everyone wants peace. They'll want to fight. But Trump is like, no, I want Iran. I want it, because he has to be Lord Israel. I know he has to be Lord Israel, but I'm like, I don't got nothing to do with this. I be like, I'm resolving. No, I can't do it anymore. If Israel has some problems, I deal with Israel personally when they finish doing whatever the hell they're doing their war. But I'm like, I'm done with Israel. Shouldn't have got involved in the first place, which is why Biden didn't get involved, which is why Obama didn't get involved. Many people didn't get involved, but not dump Cheeto Trump. So, meanwhile, violence in the region hasn't stopped. The Strait of Hormuz remains mostly closed. Missiles and drone attacks are still happening, and both sides are suffering losses from Iran. Has lost much of its leadership to airstrikes, making negotiations even harder. And at the same time, the U.S. and Israel repeated attacks have several crippled Iran's military capabilities. Now, world leaders and mediators are hoping these diplomatic efforts can turn the situation from ongoing fighting to real negotiations, a ceasefire, and lasting peace. But both sides are still claiming victories, false victory, because there have not been any. And they're just still trying to claim victories, and the reality on the ground extremely tense. Now, the road to peace is far from certain, especially if you have Orange Cheeto freaking instigating the goddamn fight and trying to act like Lord of our lords and God of our gods, and he is not. Okay. Now, in summary, while the war continues, there's a real push from regional powers to get the U.S. and Iran talking and hopefully end the conflict before it gets even worse. But you got Trump and his blind and ridiculous and unneeded loyalty to Israel, because I guess they bullying him or whatever. I don't know what is the issue with Israel and Trump. I don't know. I'm really looking at backstory, but I've heard rumors about trafficking and all kinds of dark crap that goes on with, the Trumpsters, Epstein, and Israel. But that's all alleged. I don't know if those are true or not. Okay. Gosh. Okay, now. Of course, let's move further with this. Now, I also want to shed light on major legal fight that's now reached the U.S. Supreme Court, a battle over whether people seeking asylum, because that's definitely in the news as well, can apply for refuge at official border crossing along the U.S.-Mexico border, because she is starting these fights with everybody. So they're like, okay, can we offer some asylum for the people who are stuck in between in the U.S. or something like that? Because you blow up the country, you starting fights with every motherfucking body with Mexico. He's starting fights with everybody, except for the UK. But it'd be a matter of time before you start fights with them as well. Saudi Arabia, he said something about him too. He just starting fights with everybody. He has to go. Okay. Now, the Republican Party are voting against this. They need to investigate the people who keep voting against this, because why are they so in bed with Trump? Is Trump holding something over them? I would definitely do a side under great secrecy investigations on the Republican Party and the Senate who keeps voting against stuff. Why are they voting against it? Do they have any morality? Unconscious? Do they care about people? Or do Trump have something really dark and sinister over them, whereas they don't want to vote against him? Something is going on. Hello, Legacy. Welcome. Oh, he's definitely messing up everybody. Definitely. Absolutely. You said good afternoon. You should. Oh, thank you. Kimberly said hi, you guys. Okay. All right. So now, since the start of President Trump, Trump, second term, his administration has severely, they literally severely or severed or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The point is they severely restricted entry for all non-citizens, even though I'm sure if you look at their freaking citizenship, they won't be all citizens. Okay. I was trying to find a word to say severely or severed, something along those lines. It's not the word that's in here, but I'm trying to put a word in there. Some of this stuff is freestyle. Anyway, so there's severely restricted entry for all non-citizens at the southern border. Now, even for those fleeing violence and persecution, think about this. These immigrant advocates are challenging these policies in court, saying that, they saying they break the law. So they denying people right to seek asylum because they're saying these people who are trying to cross the border are criminals, or they're breaking the law for trying to cross the border. That's what they are saying. That's what they're saying. So they're denying people the right to seek asylum if they are physically present in the U.S. or arrive at a designated port of entry. Now, the heart of the case is about how we define arrive in the U.S. I mean, think about it here. The Trump administration argues that unless someone physically crosses the border, they haven't arrived and can be turned away. But I didn't even tell you the dark crowd that goes on along the border, okay? Even if they're standing just steps away at the border checkpoint in Mexico, they still not in the U.S. That's what they're saying. So advocates point out that Congress created the right to seek asylum partly in response to the U.S. turning away refugees from the Holocaust and argue that asylum is not just a legal right, but a moral one, sometimes a matter of life or death. So you have some congressmen were like, okay, we have to give asylum because that's where the U.S. have always been. We're not always, but that's the reputation we gained over the years and decades is people who seek asylum. We give them asylum. Unless they're a threat to our country or something, we give them asylum. We work out something. And then once they get asylum and everything is calm in their country or continent, then they can go back. That's what we were starting to progress toward, the land of hope, and freedom and peace, to get away from their religious and strict religious regime and trafficking and constant war. They come here and, maybe open up a store or have a family. You might have to deal with some racism and our crazy ass policies, but at least you don't have to deal with the strict guidelines in their country. We were starting to push toward that. Now we're just a bunch of bullies and everyone is starting to hate us. Well, not us in general, but they hate Trump. So in our political party, the Senate, primarily. Yeah, it's getting kind of bad. So anyway, so that's what the Congress, the good part of Congress, are saying. But you have the bad part of Congress, the Republicans, are saying, no, screw them. They can't come in. Kiss my ass. Who gives a damn if they need refuge? I don't give a damn. That's what the Republicans are saying. Because they don't have morality or any kind of human decency. Their human decency stopped at the bank account or whatever blackmail Trump got over, or whatever spell they have on these people, because they're loyal to a part of where it's kind of suspicious, okay? We might have to hold an exorcist with these Republican parties, because you would think by now their morality would have been kicked in. But these people are seriously gone. They're fucking gone. They don't even want to pay the TSA workers. They voted against it. Like, are you insane? You take planes. We got private jets now. Did he promise all the Republican parties private jets and black cards? Someone needs to check their financials, because that loyalty is beyond insane. You don't take airline? You mean all the Republican parties in the Senate takes private jets? Are you fucking kidding me? So our tax dollars paying for private jets for all the Republican parties? No, their loyalty is suspicious as hell. I will be seriously investigating that. I'm sorry. They cannot vote against the TSA. No, that is ridiculous and beyond stupid, and I can't even comprehend why. Like, why would you vote against that? You take planes. How can you vote against that? Make it make sense. So the specific policy in question, called turn back metering, forced thousands of asylum seekers to wait in Mexico for weeks or months, often in dangerous conditions, while border agents strictly limited how many were allowed to apply each day. They're acting like God. Though the policy was stopped after a court ruled it unlawful. Now, the Trump administration wants the Supreme Court to say it can reinstate if it needed. Now, supporters of the policy say it's about managing border surges and overcrowding. Like, they're just managing it. It's so many. They have to do something. Sure. We're still not going to talk about the 100,000 kids that came up missing, but I'm sure Trump and his pedos know what the hell that happened. What happened to those poor defenseless children and babies. But anyway, we're not the land of justice. We're the land of criminals and traffickers. Yeah. So opponents say it strips desperate people of their rights and puts lives at risk. Stories like Benito's, a Mexican asylum seeker who was turned away despite visible scars from violence. Yeah. Babies who look like they've been through hell. Blood raining down their legs, beaten. And the border agents turn them away. They don't even seek even a little bit of guilt in their soul. They just don't care. When do you do your job so much where it just becomes a job and your morality is out the window? Your heart, your care, all of it is gone. When does it become a job? I'm sorry, no, I can't do that. I can't be a pathologist and look at dead bodies all day and then just be another body on the table. No, whatever. Let me just continue here. So these border agents are soulless. They have no soul, no heart at all. They don't give a two flying fucks. They really are just heartless SOBs. No heart at all. Now these are all Trumpsters. You know, anyone who follows him don't have a heart because that's the part of the rule. You can't have a heart if you're a Trumpster. If you're a MAGA, no heart. Dark evil. Literally. And they call themselves Christians, by the way. Let that sink in. So the Supreme Court will decide whether the government can bring back metering and turn back policies. The decision, expected by the end of June, could have lasting consequences for the rights of asylum seekers at America's borders. Because now, you know, Trump is obsessed with the borders because, you know, him and Epstein were really good with the whole transporting the, never mind. You get the gist. You can pretty much sum it up why he's so obsessed with the borders and immigrants. His wives, Epstein, trafficking, I mean, name it. Just saying. Okay, on to the next story. Let's talk about this Save America Act. Okay. Now, remember, the Save America Act they want to make it harder for normal American citizens, even the Republicans and senators and Trump and celebrities to also use mail-in ballots. They're trying to eliminate that, even though they dumbasses use it. Not the celebrities who voted against Save the Act, but I'm talking the senators and people like Trump, billionaires who do the mail-in ballot thing, who's with the Save the Act. I swear, I think they all just gone. I don't even think I gotta say, they're not paddling with both oars in the water. I think some of these people who are following Trump are seriously gone. They're brain dead. Okay, that's all I have to say about that, because they are not making any sense on why they still follow this man, unless you just like him. So here's what the Save America Act does for a mail-in ballots. Okay, I mean, let's talk about this a little bit. Okay, here's what it does. It is universal mail-in voting, even though they use it. Now, the bill prohibits universal mail-in voting. Yeah, meaning states can no longer automatically send ballots to all voters. They want this passed before the midterms. Yeah, you know what they're trying to do. Okay. Allows mail-in ballots only for limited exceptions, which means strict guidelines. Let's just talk about these guidelines a bit. Only people who can do mail-in ballots are people with illnesses, okay? You got to have some doctor excuse, disability, military service, or you're traveling. Yeah, even though this literally disconnect all of the senators, okay? And the billionaires too. I'm just going to point that shit out there. Just saying. I mean, seriously, they can't do it anymore. They voting for a damn bill that eliminate their votes. Don't mean to laugh. When stupid become bliss, okay? Ignorant is so bliss. I can't deal with this. This is crazy. Okay. Trump is also pushing to eliminate no excuse absentee voting entirely. Interesting. He wants to remove the ability by mail unless you have a qualifying reason. This has caused conflict even with the Republican Party. I told you. I mean, this is hilarious. And here's the really hilarious part from old Trump's dumpster. Okay. Guess what? He actually used the mail-in vote, and he done it several times, along with predominantly all of the Republican Party. And I'm not even getting to what they're also trying to freaking pass. They trying to say anyone with a name change, like all married women, like myself, and 98% of the freaking Republican Party and MAGAs who are married, if your name changed, especially if you are married, you can't vote. Like women, we can't vote because we got married and we changed our name. So our votes will no longer count anymore. Do they know how this would freaking cripple their entire party? I'm sorry, this is hilarious. They are blindly following this man to a pit. They are blindly following this man to a dark abyss. He's leading them over a cliff, and they're still following him. They can see the cliff, and they see the fire streaming up from the cliff, and they dumbasses following it. I'm sorry. I never knew anyone could be this fucking stupid. This is so it. I'm laughing because it's scary and it's scary. I mean, let's talk about the mail-in vote that that Trump also uses. Okay, despite calling mail-in vote corrupted, rigged, and cheating, this is from your president. Oh my God, this is funny. So Trump, and this is by public records, you can look this up, voted by mail in Florida this month, but he wants to get rid of it. We know why he's trying to get rid of it. He's trying to rig the election because he feel, okay, once you rig the election, it will be no more elections. So public records show he mailed his ballot for a special election in Palm Beach County this month. Let that sink in. Trump has rigged this election and his last term as well. They need to look into that. No one voted for him. Whatever. So he also, not just this month, he voted in mail, the policy he's trying to end, but he also voted in 2020. Yeah, he also voted mail in. He mailed in his voting ballot in 2020. Yeah, yeah. So he continues to vote by mail while trying to restrict it. Make it make sense. He argues that he qualifies under travel exceptions, but wants to end universal mail-in voting for everyone else. He don't qualify for travel. He wasn't traveling. His fat ass is probably sitting in Mar-a-Lago and then feel like going to the voting polls and vote like a normal person. He wasn't doing a goddamn thing. That's a bull-faced freaking lie. He just didn't want to do it. He wanted to mail in. He had something to do. He didn't want to stand in the lines. A lot of celebrities do it. Why do they want to stand in lines so a bunch of fans can swarm them and drive them crazy? It's insane. Hell, they can't even walk down the street without a bunch of crazy-ass fans swarming them. Why the fuck they want to go to the voting polls and get swarmed? They're going to have a special section for celebrities? That's inconvenient. So, the contradiction. Trump publicly calls mail-in voting, mail-in cheating, even though he did it, and corrupt as hell, and is rigged. Yet he continues to use it personally while still saying that it's corrupted and rigged. This contradiction is widely reported across multiple outlets. They're talking about this everywhere, all over the world, how stupid and contradicting and hypocritical this man is. Yeah, and I got clips. So he is so doing that. Hell to the freaking yes. Definitely all messed up. Thank you. Now, these particular clips are not just talking about the mail-in ballots. We're going to talk about other things as well. Okay. Now, remember I was talking about earlier the Delta Airlines and the TSA and all the crap that we're doing there. Let's dive a little deeply into that. And these clips are also going to talk about the war in Iran, how it's being played out. So you're going to see a nice little video play out of that as well, how they're submitting their weapons and things of that nature. So we're going to talk about that. So here we go. This is like a brief recap of what I just discussed in video format and by other users. Hold on just a moment.
An F-35 has been shot down, and here's how the Iranians did it. So the Iranians used a $10,000 missile to take down a $100 million fighter jet, which has been said to be the best in the world. They were able to track it down using this Chinese radar system, which has a low-frequency radar that detects the general location of the fighter jet, and this allows this cheap missile to use semi-active radar homing to lock onto the F-35 and take it down. And this fighter jet is so good that America doesn't even sell it to most of its allies.
Delta Airlines has announced that they're taking away special congressional services until the DHS shutdown ends, until TSA is paid, until travelers aren't stranded for 5 and 6 and 10 and 15 hours at airports trying to get through security, then missing flights and having to wait for another flight, sleeping on the floor of the airport because they don't want to sit in 5 and 6 hour security lines again. But it's all theater. See, Delta's just now doing this after the Senate announced that they might have a framework of a deal. Delta waited until the Senate said, hey, we have a deal. We're going to work through this week, and by the end of the week, this shutdown should be fully over. Nobody in Congress, Senate, or the House is leaving Washington, D.C. until Friday. Nobody in Congress is flying anywhere. Their staffers aren't flying anywhere. They're all in D.C. This has zero impact on them this week, and they're planning by Friday, hopefully, to have this all buttoned up and DHS back funded. Delta did this solely to look like they're doing something at a time when Congress looks like they're not doing something, to get on the good graces of travelers, especially those travelers that Delta has alienated by raising their prices faster than any of their competition since 2020 and providing fewer services. Delta is consistently losing out to the holiday traveler, to the traveler that is going someplace with their family on vacation. Their bread and butter has been business travelers for a long time, but an airline cannot survive only on business travelers. So Delta's trying to buy the good graces of the public through propaganda when they know they will not have to do anything that they just promised they were going to do. Sure, maybe one or two staffers here or there might not be escorted through security in the back halls of an airport and might actually have to interact with the public in a 3, 4, 5 hour long line until TSA is back opened and fully staffed and being paid again. But members of the House and Senate aren't going to have to deal with that. They'll fly somebody else that still offers the service, or it will be ended before Delta actually has to implement it. It is propaganda and political theater on Delta's part, so don't buy into it.
So we're hearing that it looks like Donald Trump and the Republicans are starting to cave with regards to this government shutdown. You know what I'm talking about. The Department of Homeland Security is shut down. Democrats don't want to fund ICE. Republicans want to give a bunch of money to ICE, and never the twain shall meet. They were at a standoff. Donald Trump and the Republicans thought they could keep pressuring the Democrats and they would cave in like they normally do, but this time they didn't. So now Donald Trump and the Republicans have a problem. We got FEMA not being funded, the Coast Guard not being funded, and TSA is causing huge backups at the airport. It's not looking good for the Republicans. As much as they wanted to try to blame it on the Democrats, nobody's buying that bullshit. So they had to come up with something. So the Republicans had to cave a little bit, and it looks like they may get this funding bill signed ultimately and get everything opened back up. They're still going to isolate ICE funding, and they'll deal with that on a separate situation, which is what the Democrats wanted the whole time. Now, Donald Trump initially had said that there's no negotiation on the government shutdown until the Democrats vote for the SAVE Act. Well, that's not going to happen. There are some Republicans that aren't going to vote for the SAVE Act. And apparently somebody sat that simple motherfucker down and explained, no matter how much you cry, no matter how much you whine, no matter how much you threaten, you're not getting it. So shut up about it. So it seems like they've given up some hope on the SAVE Act, or at least the way the SAVE Act looks currently. You want to hear something interesting, though? In that SAVE Act, there's a part of it that says they want to get rid of mail-in voting. They don't like mail-in voting. Interestingly enough, today there is a special election in the district where Mar-a-Lago is. Donald Trump voted by mail. Dumb motherfucker. This guy's just making noise. He doesn't understand what he's doing. And hopefully we'll get the Department of Homeland Security open again, and the SAVE Act will go away where it's supposed to, out the fucking window.
Okay, and I agree with him 100%. In random news, okay, as we know, Cuba still suffering from 2 nationwide blackouts in 1 week due to the U.S. oil blockade. And just to sum it up, 10 million people are still in the dark Literally no fuel, no power, no stability, and no one sending any help. Because you remember Trump don't give two flying figs about what's happening in Cuba or any place that's even remotely suffering. He don't care. He causes suffering. He don't help suffering people. Remember that, people. He causes suffering. He don't help them. Okay? Remember that? That's what he is. That's what he always been. Venezuela beat the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic, sparkling national pride after Maduro's arrest. Now, baseball win became a political statement, apparently, saying we're still here. I don't know how that even became, but, you know, it is what it is. So congratulations to them. I don't really follow the whole thing, so it is what it is. All right, in other random news here, the U.S. politics, immigration, the World Cup. Okay, well, it seems Representative Eric Swalwell introduced a bill to block ICE enforcement at World Cup venues to protect fans. I don't know why they're there anyway. Don't they have things to do? Okay, to some of it, they don't want ICE turning the World Cup into a fear zone. They want people to go there and have fun and enjoy some sports. They don't want these fools in there intimidating people or trafficking, whatever the sick shit they're doing. What the hell they think they are? I mean, just no. Find something to do. God damn. Now, this famous psychic here, and not sure where his name is. If y'all know his name, put it in the comment section so I can put it on the screen. I did have his name, but I completely forgot his name. Okay, he predicted this. He said, I think he's just going to fucking walk away because the Democrats control it. Because they're saying this is what's going to happen in the upcoming midterms. The Democrats control the House and the Senate. He said no one's going to pay attention to him. The fiscal condition of the country is beyond in the ditch, which it is. The Iran thing has turned into just a catastrophic of the first order. So they said Trump may just walk away. He probably just walk away from the presidency in general and say he don't want to do it anymore. He doesn't care. I don't know if a president can ever do that. But again, like I said, we need to update our constitution, not update it, but add to it so it can align with the current times. That was made and created hundreds of years ago for those particular times. Now we need something to align with these times. Remember, they're rigging elections now. We in a time of AI and computer technology and things of that nature. We need something to coincide with the times we're in now, or we're going to consistently have rich criminals like Trump rigging our election and billionaires controlling our government. I mean, this has to stop. They also need to separate church from state. I'm going to put that out there. Religion should no longer be some kind of prominent adversary for the rules and guidelines of our demographic in the United States. They shouldn't even be in the same conversation. There's so many religions, and they shouldn't tell you what religion should go into our politics or our rule of law. But that's just my opinion. Okay. And here are some other random topics. Okay, we have here in this topic here, while we're looking at Epstein files, because we are still doing that. I don't know why you think that's ever going to go away, because it's not. We're looking at Epstein files, the sickness of that, and videos is being released overseas from Trump having a whole bunch of minors do sick things. Those are not AI videos. Those are actually videos. You can find them all over X. Yeah, he's a monster. Nebraska is burning down, and no news outlet is talking about it because Trump threatened anyone who don't talk about him, and whoever talks about him in a negative way, he's threatening them. So that's why the news is not talking about current events. You have to go on TikTok or something, because he's bullying the media outlets in America for them not to report anything that's not about him or to contradict anything that he approves of. So they have to go through approval from him in order to deal with the motherfucking news. Yeah, this is how he wanted it to be. He has to go. And then we have Matus. Apparently they got a new reporter or something. Some reporter on their team in White House apparently don't like it because they watch Meta apparently. And this is Trump losing his mind, talking to non-existent Elvis when he goes into Graceland, because, he don't care about war. He don't care that our infrastructure is falling apart. People can't afford grocery. Our roads are fucked up. The schooling is fucked up. The road is fucked up. He goes to Graceland. Yeah, let that sink in.
So a near million-acre fire is been burning through Nebraska, if you didn't know, literally the size of fucking Rhode Island, and I've been noticing zero media coverage on it. Every camera, every reporter, every headline is pointed at the Middle East. Fire is approaching 1 million acres, one of the largest in U.S. history, and I just want you to think about this when considering this fire being in Nebraska, okay? Before we get to that, I just want you to think about this. Massive wildfires in Nebraska are threatening to slow efforts to rebuild the U.S. cattle herd, as key grazing land in one of the nation's top beef-producing states has been destroyed. Fires fueled by high winds have burned roughly 775,000 acres of pasture, removing a critical feed source for tens of thousands of cattle, according to state officials. Loss of grassland is expected to delay herd expansion plans, even as producers have been encouraged by historically strong cattle prices. See where I'm going here? Now think about this. Nebraska just so happens to sit on top of the Ogallala Aquifer, which just so happens to be the largest underground water source in America. Ogallala supplies 30% of all irrigation water used in U.S. agriculture. Think about this. While oil prices go up, fertilizer costs skyrocket. If shipping is interrupted, then grain exports also stall. This is happening during the biggest geopolitical crisis in 50 years. And you really think it's a coincidence?
So the Trump White House is apparently not happy with Midas Touch after we hired veteran journalist Scott MacFarlane to join our team. We made the big announcement yesterday that Scott MacFarlane had left CBS and was joining the Midas Touch Network to be our enterprise investigative reporter, our chief Washington correspondent, and overall, the feedback was incredible. But the Trump White House was not too pleased. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted this morning, an article from Fox News that says veteran CBS reporter joins far-left media company Midas Touch as anchor, says they share the same North Star. Well, I guess that's an interesting way to describe factual, but you do you. Trump's FCC commissioner, Brendan Carr, then followed up and replied to Leavitt, writing, "Same job, new duty station." And honestly, that's kind of true. Scott will be doing the same job that he's always done, reporting the news honestly, directly, without any BS, and he's doing it here at the Midas Touch Network. Trump's communications guy, Steve Chung, also posted this. He wrote, "Every reporter who leaves, more like fired from their outlet, always comes out as a deranged liberal every single damn time. Just goes to show how biased news media has become." Let's be honest, they wouldn't be attacking us if they weren't afraid, because this right here is a major moment for independent media. They are scared of you. They are scared of people power. So let's show them what people power looks like. Scott just hit 50,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. I want you to go right now. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's completely free. You're going to get incredible reporting from inside the Capitol, from inside the courtrooms. This is going to be like nothing else. So make sure you subscribe. I'm showing a link right here. Scott MacFarlane Reports on YouTube. Check it out.
We love Elvis. Who doesn't love Elvis? Everybody loves Elvis, right? Hello. How are you? Hi. How are you? Nice to see you.
Welcome to the second most visited private home in America.
Wow, that's very good.
Your house is number one.
It's pretty good too, right?
Yes.
It's very nice to see you. Oh, very good. That's right. We gave Elvis a gift. The highest award is Congressional Medal of Honor for the President. Great. Nice to see you, brother.
Hi, I'm Angie, and I'm going to be your tour guide today.
Very good.
Yes.
Ready, everybody? Let's see here. Oh, that came out good. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Wow. You never know. These are hard to sign. But that came out pretty good.
Is that the first guitar you signed?
Just about. Now, Biden couldn't do that. He'd have to send it out to be signed. Look at that. That came out nice. And what a beautiful guitar. Is this, so, did he play this guitar?
No, this is a replica one, but this is a replica of the one that he did play. Yeah. And the one that had the karate patch on it. Elvis had 2 8th degree black belts in karate. One was in Kempo, and that's what this
was. He really good, or was it just?
Actually, he was really good.
Okay.
He started practicing.
Could I have taken him in a fight?
I don't know. You might.
I think he would have been respectful enough to let you in.
Yes, he probably would.
And they're laughing like it's funny. Why is he always obsessed with Biden? And what the fuck is he talking about? Seriously? The man is nuts. I know he is acting funny. Hopefully it's because, you know, of other reasons I don't want to say right now, but you get what I'm saying. And what was the and another thing, what was the purpose of this video? You said Ben Carson said the one with the blue tie isn't the real Trump. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know who is. All I know is that this is not even necessary. And why is this? You know what? Who's paying for this? You know, we already know who's paying for this visit. Whatever. And I have to say, I don't know Elvis. I don't know him, but he seemed like he was a very giving guy. Although he had dark secrets and he loved. You know, I take that back. You know, Elvis had some dark things. Him and Trump more than likely will get along. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there because he like underage girls too. So, you know, yeah, they probably will be buddies. They like underage girls. And, you know, Elvis used to like going to the morgue too. I'm going to put that on out there. Yeah. So, you know what? Yeah. Elvis and Trump will be buddies. Right along with Epstein and all the rest of them. Let's keep it real here. That is what it is. Now, all right, so let's move on here to royal news, okay? We are with royal news here. Now, I'm going to go through the news quickly. I'm not going to get all into, you know, blase, dot. I'm just going to just go through it quickly, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Okay, first up. Prince Andrew. It seems like Prince Andrew crisis deepened. Andrew Epstein ties are causing a crisis bigger than the abdication scandal. He's been stripped of titles, exiled, and the palace is distancing themselves. Even his kids are distancing themselves and is starting to, you know, seep into their children. This is Andrew's and his not late wife, I'm about to say life wife. I hope I'm not doing a future prediction. Him and his ex-wife, children, is starting to seep in their households as well. Okay. Apparently, Andrew is radioactive. The monarchy is scrambling. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Oh my gosh, they're losing their mind. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We need to get some good press. Good press. No one like Will and Kate. Their news is boring. Snore, zzz, sleep. No one cares about them too at all. So trying to use them as clickbait or some kind of positive views is not working. That's what the royal family and monarchy are currently dealing with at the moment. Okay. And then we have Princess Eugene, which is, you know, Andrew and his ex-wife daughter. Princess Eugene husband pulls away. See, I told you this scandal with Andrew is seeping onto their kids' household. Jack Brooksbank is distancing himself to avoid being tainted by the Epstein drama. Now, that's a bit drastic, especially if the daughter had nothing to do with it. But if he distanced himself because maybe he may be brought up in those files, maybe he do. I don't know. I mean, if I had nothing to do with the Epstein files and my wife was victim to this whole Epstein scandal here, the last thing I would do is abandon her in a time like this. That's unless I have something to hide. You know what I'm saying? So in layman terms here, he said, not my circus, not my scandal, and step back. Like, fuck you, screw you. I'm not dealing with you and your little pedophile family. Deuces, I want a divorce. That's what Eugene's husband literally did to her. Meanwhile, of course, we have to bring up Harry and Meghan. They always do that. They're claiming that the experts are saying that Sussex may be heading toward financial crash and need a limited role deal with the royals. That's not true. That is not true. That is not true. Meghan Markle's as ever stuff sells out. She already sold over $20 million merchandise and still counting. They are not, and the deal with Netflix was not even separated. That was a rumor that was pretty much spread by the royal family. They still have a deal with Netflix and they still coming out with stuff with Netflix. So I don't know who brought all this shit up It was false, but this is what they're saying. This is what the monarchy is still saying about Meghan and Harry. Their Hollywood bag might be drying up and the palace might use it to pull them back. Like, you know, cut off their financial connections so they have no choice to come back. That is some bad karma for their ass, man, if they did some dirty shit like that. Okay. Meanwhile, the Norway Crown's princess, they're claiming to apologize. They get to apologize while the monarchy is falling apart there. Hey, Alicia, how you doing, girl? Crown Princess Mette Marit apologized for past ties to Epstein after documents exposed years of communication. So just to sum it up, another royal caught in the Epstein web, and this one cried on television. This person cried, she cried on television, like, I didn't mean to. I didn't know. I didn't even tell you the darkness in his family. Seriously, it goes deeper than Epstein. You know, I was reading some information about this goddamn family. I'm like, I need to really get into this Norway stuff because this is some really scandalous stuff. They need to get put in the media a lot more too, just like the royal family. I'm just saying, they need to be magnifying glass need to be on there. I'm just going to put that out there. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All right. Now let's pull up celeb gossip.
Blinded by the you need that.
Okay, in celeb news. Okay, here's some celeb gossip, and let me tell you, a lot has happened from Tina Knowles' poison gumbo, Jay-Z PR stunts, and Shia LaBeouf acting like he the privileged, whatever the hell he's acting like, and much more. Okay, so let's go ahead and get deep. Okay, in celeb news. Okay. Apparently, Tina Knowles' rodeo gumbo truck reportedly closed after customers vomited blood. Yes, vomited blood. Let's talk about the situation involving Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, and her popular gumbo booth at a recent event. Now, the booth had to be temporarily closed after a customer became seriously ill and vomited blood right after eating there. Health officials were called immediately, and the booth was shut down as a precaution while they investigated the cause. Now, Tina Knowles and her team cooperated fully with authorities, and the booth was allowed to reopen after being cleared by health inspectors. Now, thankfully, there have been no other reports of illnesses. Now, Ms. Knowles expressed concern for the customer and emphasized her commitment to food safety and public health. In short, okay, although there was a health scare, officials found no ongoing risk, and the gumbo booth is back in business. Tina Knowles is making sure every safety remains her top priority. Now, I have to admit, something's going on with these people. Okay, first we have Tina Knowles, who's coming out with gumbo, which is the witch's soup. I'm not trying to say it's some kind of thing, but this is weird. And then you have, you know what? Something's going on with this family. Remember, I told you during this transition, people of the old zodiac age are going to lose their cosmic influence, so they're going to have to work extra harder or cast more spells. I know that sounds crazy, and I sound crazy saying it, but you know, when you start learning about the witchcraft and rituals and things of that nature, a lot of stuff that these celebrities be doing start to make a lot of sense. Now, all of them are not in it. Some of them are really just good hard workers and just naturally gifted. But I'm not saying Beyonce is, and she's a very beautiful woman and very hardworking and very gifted. But I honestly don't like the fact that the people around her are so greedy, where they got this girl, this young woman, afraid to speak out. The only way she was able to speak out is through documentaries, book. Like, you don't, and this is the age of authenticity. This is the age of truthness. I mean, Jennifer Lopez increased her popularity just by being vulnerable with her audience, which I tagged her and told her to start being. Beyonce is still allowing other people to control her narrative. Now, Tina Knowles is free to open up booths and interact with the people, but her daughter is afraid to even speak up for herself because the people around her are saying, you should put it in the song, put it in the video, put it in an orchestrated, I don't know, Instagram drop or something. Cardi B fame is primarily from her authenticity. I'm talking about that comes out of her mouth. Her body is fake from top to bottom. but I'm talking about her authenticity of being real. You know what I'm saying? So unless Beyonce wants people to continuously control the narrative and call her all these obscene names and allowed her mother to be her voice and making bank from it, people are going to still continuously control the narrative. We need authenticity from her. We need to know who Beyonce is naturally, not from her PRs, not from her mom and everyone around her telling her not to because it may cause some kind of scandal. No, we need to hear from her authentic, not an edited motherfucking video. Why not pull up your phone and actually do a live show, like a live show, like a really, really good live show? Seriously, like I'm bored. I'm just sitting here with the hubby and my beautiful kids. What y'all doing? You know, some shit like that. So if Tina Knowles is able to come out with her little witch gumbo, I'm sure Beyonce can pretty much do a live show. I'm going to go ahead and put that on out there. It's kind of weird that she come out with a gumbo and then you have Jay-Z running around here with these little goldie masks that, you know, has some rooted history in a lot of rituals. You know, something's going on with this freaking family. But you know what? Let me continue here. Now, I have to admit, Tina Knowles' heart may have been in the right place because she is famous for her gumbo and I hear good things about it. I'm not saying she isn't, and she probably is trying to come out with Mama Tina's gumbo and offer something for the community. I'm not saying that she isn't. I'm not even saying her gumbo is nasty. I just find it very odd. Just saying. Just saying. But I hope it's not filled with her little poisonous witchcraft stuff and people start acting like some possessed, crazy psychopaths. I hope it was created from love, authenticity, and just want to offer something for the community. If she's doing it for that, congratulations. I applaud her. But if she have dark sinisters for it, I hope she get exploited left and freaking right. Okay? That's all I have to say. Now, my guardians, do your thing. Now, here are some clips.
Okay, y'all. So,
just a moment.
Okay, y'all. So TMZ just reported and just posted the report from the health department of the reason why the health department went to the Houston Rodeo and Carnival and shut Miss Tina's gumbo stand down. Now, I'm about to read this report to y'all. I want y'all to listen to it, okay? Now, y'all can screenshot it and read it for yourself, but listen to this, y'all. Okay, so it says, the Department of Health found the gumbo was cooked off-site, cooled down, stuffed into non-food graded orange buckets, and then hauled off to a freezer at an unlicensed spot. According to the health department report obtained by KPRC Channel 2 News, the food was then reportedly transported to a refrigerator trailer and thawed before served. The report also says Mama Tina didn't keep temperature logs showing the cooling or storing time of the gumbo, and that the inspector observed bags of frozen shrimp and crabs with a label that stated keep frozen. Additionally, the Department of Health reported the food source used after the first day of the rodeo was listed on the approved permit application, and that the food prepared more than 24 hours prior to serving was not dated. Now, child, I don't know about y'all, but that's all I need to know. That's all. You ain't got to tell me but once. That's it. You ain't got to tell me but once. But this report explains why so many people were getting sick. Now, all of this is alleged. Now, again, baby, when are y'all going to learn that it takes more than throwing a bunch of seafood, some water, and some seasoning in a pot to make gumbo? That's why a lot of restaurants don't play around with serving gumbo, because it is very easy that gumbo can spoil if it's not prepared for storage in the right temperature. If you do not store gumbo at the right temperature, baby, it will spoil on you so fast. And I can just about guarantee you that was one of the main reasons a lot of people were getting sick. First of all, according to this report that I just read, y'all, Miss Tina out there just serving gumbo to thousands and thousands of people without any proper temperature logs. She wasn't storing the gumbo in the proper containers at the proper temperature that she should have been storing it at. And I guarantee you, the gumbo that she did not serve that day, she stuffed in just an ordinary container, put it in the refrigerator, took it out the next day, heated it up, and served it to y'all ass. And y'all was standing there long ass line, paying $30 a cup for some gumbo that could have been possibly spoiled. Now, again, y'all can take this information and do what y'all want to do with it. I'm just here to report it. When I reported the first time, some people were saying, oh, you know, y'all just saying that because y'all don't like the Knowles and don't nobody like Beyonce. Baby, that's a lie, okay? Because I guarantee you, the reason why so many people went to the Houston Carnival and Rodeo and supported Mama Tina was because the fact that it was Beyonce mama, like I stated again in my first video. Because y'all know good and damn well, had that been anybody just down there serving gumbo, y'all wouldn't have trusted that gumbo like that. But y'all figured, oh, this is Mama Tina. She from Louisiana. She gotta know. I bet this gumbo good. And again, some people said the gumbo was really good. And that's just not all to it. Gumbo can be good and it can also spoil the next day. The same gumbo out of the same pot that she was serving the day before probably had already spoiled because, as the report was saying, she wasn't even storing it properly. So I guarantee you she was serving that same gumbo out of that same batch that she did not serve the day before to the public the next day. And that's the reason why a lot of people were getting sick. I mean, just call it what it is. It is what it is. But I fought y'all. Yeah, I fought y'all. Because y'all know good and damn well, y'all ain't never heard of Miss Tina cooking no damn gumbo. We ain't never heard of Mama's Tina's gumbo until this year. Now all of a sudden, she a chef cooking gumbo. We've all known for Miss Tina to be a fashion designer. We ain't never known for her to be no damn chef cooking gumbo. Now all of a sudden, she just stamped her name on it, and y'all took y'all ass down there to that Houston Carnival and stood in that line. And now a lot of y'all reporting that y'all got sick after eating that gumbo. Now again, cooking gumbo is more than just throwing seafood and water and seasoning in a pot. If you do not store it properly afterwards, your whole pot of gumbo done went to waste. Now y'all know she gonna try to run this back next year. Now I just want y'all to be prepared. So y'all know next time when y'all go down there, what y'all eating and who y'all eating it from. All right, now, y'all leave y'all thoughts down in the comment section. We're going to talk about it there. Child, let me get back to work and go mind my own business. Bye.
Yikes, 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 yikes. News is coming out that Mama Tina's gumbo shop pop-up was actually shut down. So if all the people saying that, oh, that was fake news, fake news, fake news, no. It was actually shut down. According to inspectors, they reportedly found thawed seafood and food being stored in non-food grade orange buckets at Tina Knowles gumbo spot at Houston's Rodeo. Y'all was eating food that was literally made to make y'all sick. People were literally getting sick after eating this because of so many violations that Mama Tina had. Why would y'all even trust a celebrity's mother that has never been out for cooking, that has never had a cooking Martha Stewart, nothing? Why would y'all trust that she could make some gumbo? Inspectors had many reasons as to why they actually shut down Mama Tina's gumbo. And I mean, these are really good reasons for why they should have shut this down. And I'm just confused on, with all the money that Beyonce and Jay-Z has, why wouldn't y'all make sure that Mama Tina was set up the correct way?
Gumbo that inspectors say was stored in a freezer at an unlicensed off-site location. That's what's in these records that we obtained about the temporary shutdown of Mama Tina's gumbo at the Houston Rodeo. According to the complaint, the customer ate gumbo in the afternoon and later reported vomiting, chills, nausea, and fever. She even said she was throwing up blood. Health department records say inspectors learned the gumbo was cooled, put into buckets, then taken off-site to be frozen before coming back to the rodeo site to thaw for service without any documentation showing safe cooling and storage times. Inspectors also wrote they observed shrimp and crab labeled keep frozen that were no longer frozen. Any of the food that wasn't frozen had to be discarded.
I'm really shocked because Mama Tina should know opening yourself up to potential lawsuits like this is very, very, very possible that these people that actually went, even if they didn't get sick from Mama Tina's gumbo, now that you actually have somebody that's actually coming. And the bad part about all of this is that Mama Tina should have been aware, Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them should have been aware that if you have one person come out and get sick from this, you are going to open yourself up to so many lawsuits, potential lawsuits that could come from this. Because if it was me and I was throwing up blood, oh, you best believe Mama Tina, you, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Blue Ivy, Sir Carter, Sir Michael Carter, I don't care who it is, all of y'all paying. All y'all paying. The whole Beehive family gonna pay for me being sick. Why? Because you shouldn't be selling something that you have no business selling in the first place. But y'all are stupid enough to even go buy something just because it's a celebrity mother. Do better.
Facts. And it's not even that, it's the fact, why is she doing this in the first place? That's what I'm thinking. Like, if she was doing it just because it's Texas, it's rodeo, she would have, it's just the timing of all of these things. Now we're gonna have Beyonce come out with something. Something is happening. I'm sensing some of my bones. Something is happening. They are doing something. Something has literally got off the glitch, off the alignment, and they had to put it back on it. But they're gonna get called out. Watch. Something is happening. That's all I have to say. Let's move on to Shia LaBeouf. Okay. Shia LaBeouf, who I was a fan of for years, ever since Indiana Jones, I thought he did a magnificent job. Followed his career, huge fan of his work. I'm still investigating the root of his action. Considering he's a childhood star, I've seen our childhood stars go through this rebellious and confused and media outrage thing. They have to go through their rebellious period, unfortunately, on national television. A lot of us did it behind the scenes, private, just private rebellion, not on the tabloids. We have to see their sprawl out on the media. You know what I'm saying? Lindsay Lohan did it. Drew Barrymore did it. They all did it. Amanda Bynes is still going through her little whatever. One of the Mary-Kate and Ashley twins. All them child stars go through it. Some of them don't. Some of them are grounded. You know, like Jaleel White. He was grounded. He's been in movies since he was a kid, damn near, like 5, 6 years old. So some childhood stars are grounded from birth, from strict parents, you know, like Tia and Tamara, from strict parents and strategic upbringing to not do that. But then you have others who don't have that look strict upbringing. So we have to see this rebellious period on national television. You know what I'm saying? Please, Miss Tina literally got Beyonce afraid to speak up for herself, saying if you do, it may hurt your brand. Girl, you not speaking up is hurting your brand. That's what the fuck that is. Shit. Instead of having other people controlling it, I want you controlling your damn self. You know, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about Shia LaBeouf. Okay, actor Shia LaBeouf has recently made headlines for 2 very different reasons. Not long ago, a new warrant was issued for his arrest. Yes. To an incident during the Mardi Gras where he reportedly got into some legal trouble just weeks after this news. Now, Shia has been spotted in Italy enjoying a much more positive moment. He's trying to, soften up the fact that he's been a loose cannon and losing his goddamn mind. So he's been trying to, fix that whole disaster. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's been doing. Just a second here. Okay. So that's what he's been doing. So he's been spending some quality time with his father, sightseeing, and things of that nature. The contrast between his recent legal issue and his peaceful vacation abroad highlights the ups and downs he's faced lately. Fans are hoping that these family moments signal a step towards stability and well-being for the actor. Now, let me just pull up this article a little bit because we need to discuss this because, Shia, he needs to get his act together. This is starting to get ridiculous. So give me a moment while I pull up this article, okay? I'm pulling up this article right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're going to pull up this article right here. This article right here, right here. Okay. Here it is, here it is. Waiting for it to load up here. Here is the article. We're going to wait for it to load up here. Because, you know, he needs to stop acting like he don't got no sense. So let's go ahead and pull up this article right quick from TMZ here. This is the article from TMZ. All right, so here are some clips here, okay? Now, remember, Shia LaBeouf, he went ballistic, okay? He went ballistic on cops outside his New Orleans home earlier Friday morning. And the wild encounter is all caught on video. Now, this article was on the 20th, so this was 4 days ago, okay? And in the footage obtained by TMZ, Shia is animately explaining something to cops about a car. While it's unclear exactly what he's saying, at one point he lifts his shirt and seems to make the sign of the cross. Yeah, I don't know if he's on drugs or something, but he's definitely acting like he's on fucking drugs. He then directs the cops to look at security camera. Oh, this is what he's doing. Security camera in his house and shows them his phone saying, "You got to understand who I am. I am a target," adding he's an easy target. Then things escalate. Shia begins pacing back and forth, growing increasingly agitated, and eventually yelling, "I have a fucking 3-year-old." He then brings up recent legal trouble, shouting he's been sitting in jail for fucking 4 months for punching a man. Okay, that is a bit abrasive, but you know, Negro and black people sat in jail for years for smaller crimes than that. He keeps getting more frantic, continues to scream at officers. If we did that, we'd be on the ground getting our ass whooped. But, you know, white privilege. Okay, repeatedly saying he doesn't trust them. The video then cuts to Shia sitting in the street, clearly distraught, yelling at someone off camera, seemingly an officer. "What are you talking about? That's why I never called you before," letting out another loud scream and breaking down in tears. Moments later, cops drive off, leaving Shia alone, still emotional. He seemed lonely and very whatever. So here's some videos. Let's check out the videos. Check out the videos.
The charge is crazy. The charge is crazy on that, bro. Happened. It ain't working. Stay down. I'm telling you, chill. Can you please sit the cop? Chill. I'm gonna beat the out. Chill the fuck out. I'm gonna beat the out, you boy. Chill. Cut that out, bro. I'm telling you. We ain't about that. You do that one time, we're gonna take it easy. Hey, down. That's enough. You ain't talking. Yeah.
That's the Shia LaBeouf. That's the LaBeouf. Yeah, he definitely having a mental breakdown. That's crazy acting so. Yeah, he's having a mental breakdown. Hell yeah, he is. Make no darn sense. Now here are some clips here. Waiting for it to catch up here. Waiting for it to catch up here. Waiting for it to catch up. There we go. There we go. Now, remember, Shia LaBeouf was arrested. Now, here is the arrest video, the full story about his arrest video. I gave you like a little prelude just a second ago, but here's someone's going to break it down a little bit more in detail, okay?
After Shia LaBeouf was just arrested, and here's everything we know about what happened. The New Orleans Police Department said that Shia was getting way too rowdy at a bar in the French Quarter, and a staff member asked him to leave. But as soon as they got outside, Shia began pummeling the staffer with a closed fist. The victims then said Shia finally left, but then came back, and this time he was way more aggressive. And a video of the aftermath went viral where you can see Shia getting slapped around on the ground, but he is still fighting. Police said it took multiple people to hold Shia down, and when they finally let him up, he immediately went after the same worker from earlier again, striking him in the upper body and then allegedly punching another person in the nose. They then held him down again and didn't let him go until police arrived. Shia was then taken to the hospital and treated for unknown injuries, and he was arrested after his release from the hospital and charged with 2 counts of simple battery. He was then released, had a virtual court appearance, and his next court appearance is scheduled for March 19th. This was after he entered a court-mandated rehab in 2017 for disorderly conduct, and since then he has tried to stay sober.
Yeah, so to sum it up, it looks like Shia LaBeouf has some drinking problems, which he has had for a long time. I think he got a divorce not too long ago because of his drinking problems. He's going through this rebellious period. What, he's in his 20s or 30s or something like that. So he's going through the same thing. And we saw Lindsay Lohan go through, and a lot of us saw Drew Barrymore go through. Amanda Bynes is still going through it at the moment. They get it all out of their system, and then they come back fresh, just like Lindsay Lohan did, just like Drew Barrymore, and they get some common sense. Let's just let him go through this. You know, hopefully he ends up on the right end of the spectrum and not worse. You know what I'm saying? Let's just let him go through this. Just like Mary-Kate and Ashley, they went through it. Let him go through this. Hopefully he don't, dig his ditch a bit deeper, and it's hard for him to climb back out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping for the best because he's such a talented man. You know, he just being brought up in Hollywood is definitely hard for him. So I'm hoping for the best because he's very talented. I love the movies he's picked. You really get really embedded in his roles. But he definitely needs to seek some counseling. It's hard to trust anybody because people are so untrustworthy and they're always trying to use him. That's why it's got to be so agitated to be a celebrity, because you don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's looking out for something. Everybody wants something like some parasites or plague or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Moving on here. Moving right along here. All right, here are some more clips. This clip, he's talking about a gay person. He said he don't like gay people touched him. It makes him uneasy. Okay. And this is him just randomly yelling at some lady.
I'll be honest with you, big gay people are scary to me. When I'm like standing by myself and 3 gay dudes are next to me touching my leg, I get scared. I'm sorry. If that's homophobic, then I'm that. Yeah. Does it happen a lot? No, it just happened one time recently. Well, that's why I got arrested. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you were sort of being groped and surrounded. I'm not going to say that because my lawyer says, "Oh, fuck, dude. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can do it."
Okay, quick question. If a gay person touch your leg, does that make you uneasy? Is that considered homophobic? First of all, I don't want no one touching my leg. You can be gay, straight. I don't give a damn. Unless you're my husband or something, or maybe my daughter, or a close circle of people whom I trust. Don't touch my leg. Just don't. Just unless you're making a reference, to something like, hey, listen to this. Okay, I can get that. But don't touch my leg in that way. Just don't. I don't care if you're straight, gay. I don't care. It just unnerving. I don't think that's homophobic at all. So I agree with that part right there. I agree with that part. You know what I mean? And I'm not homophobic. I'm bi-curious. But if I don't know you and you touching my leg, that will probably make me feel uneasy. But if it's a quick gesture and you're trying to make a point like, hey, check this out, I'm good with that. But don't touch my leg randomly like that. And you got your hand rested on my leg. That's not homophobic. That's you know, claiming your space. You know what I mean? Sound off in the comments if I'm, completely left field with that whole little, judgment there. Just saying. That's your boy. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose or he got some serious freaking issues. I mean, this is me right here. Seriously. I'm like, okay, what is happening? Because that is so strange. Oh, he's definitely having a mental breakdown. Yes. Yeah, he really did. He's a very good actor. He's a very good actor, definitely. Absolutely. Oh, April, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm hanging in there. So all I can do is hang in there. Okay, now moving on to the next subject here. All right, we're gonna move on to J to the Z to the Z to the G to the Okay, so it says here the Jay-Z finally responded to claims that he picked Kendrick Lamar for 2025 Super Bowl halftime show as a way to take a shot at Drake. Here's my here's me. No, I'm just kidding. That's not me. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is me literally right here. Like I want to know. Like, tell me more. Let's see what the fuck you gotta say. Yeah. This is how I'm gonna take this whole confession of his. Seriously. And this is what I'm gonna be doing. Seriously, this is me. But I'm gonna go ahead and go through it. Let's go through it. Yeah, let's sniff the coffee, baby. Let's do this. Dive into the mind of the J. Okay, so he said it had nothing to do with their beef. Kendrick was simply the hottest artist of the year. Jay-Z said people are inventing conspiracies and dragging him into a feud that has nothing to do with him. Yeah. Are we? Yeah. Yeah, this is me. Sure. Anyway, let's just break this down a little bit more. Okay. Let's break this down a little bit more from the J to the Z. Kendrick, this is why Jay-Z picked Kendrick Lamar. True, Kendrick was having a monster year. Facts. He chose him because he was the biggest artist at the time, not because of the Drake feud. Lies. Because he wasn't the biggest artist. It was other artists too, but whatever. He said the idea that he was picking sides is ridiculous. He did, because if he didn't, he would have left 50 Cent on the little whatever festa they had, and Eminem didn't have to beg him to put 50 Cent on it. But we go ahead and just, agree with Jay-Z, the Sagittarius. Okay, he also says this. Jay-Z said, I picked the hottest artist, stop making it about Drake. Stop making it about Drake. Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and stop making it about Drake. Okay, I have to put an emoji up here because it's literally, Where is that? Hold on. There we go. Let's just keep that up there for a second. Okay, let's keep that up there. Okay. Jay-Z, he was annoyed and dismissive of the conspiracy theories. He literally said, and I quote, "What I care about them two guys battling. I'm fucking Jay-Z. Respectfully, for what?" This is what he said. This is what he said straight up. Straight up. That's what he said. So Jay-Z basically said, I'm too big to be playing in their little rap beef. Shit. This is what he said. I'm not lying. This is hilarious. I'm having a ball up here. Seriously, this is fun as hell. Okay. Now, so we just discussed why he picked Kendrick Lamar. Because he was the hottest commodity. Yes, he was, but not the hottest. But we'll go ahead and just ignore that little shtick for now. Now, let's go to the little LeBron. Oh, I didn't mean to do the other one. Oh, I wish I could go back. I can't. Anyway, so LeBron. LeBron attended Kendrick's 2024 Juneteenth pop-out concert. This is why he, accused of picking sides with LeBron. He been picking sides with LeBron for years. You know what I'm saying? Even despite the rumors of LeBron scoring Rihanna allegedly and his wife being sexually attracted to LeBron for many personal reasons. Anyway, so maybe they had like a couple orgy going on. I don't fucking know. Okay? Now, Drake took a person and even covered his LeBron tattoo. Yeah, because, Drake was a huge fan of LeBron. Jay-Z said LeBron might have taken a stand, but he didn't. Okay, they could. Why haven't he put Drake on it? Drake is pretty hot, too. He is picking sides, whatever, man. So, just as some LeBron might have been chosen a side, Jay-Z says he did. He said LeBron may have chosen a side, but he said he didn't choose. That is, Jay-Z said he don't choose sides. He's fair. He said he don't choose sides. He is fair. Lies. Lies. Oh my gosh, this is bullshit. Okay, anyway, so to sum it up, Jay-Z said what he said. He picked Kendrick because he was the hottest artist, not because of Drake. Sure. Okay, and the way he said, I'm fucking Jay-Z. That's what he said. I'm not lying, that's what he said. So dude feeling himself, for real. That tells you exactly how much he cares about their being like, he's fucking Jay-Z. He's the Hova. He's the God. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Shit. His words, not mine. Okay? His words, not mine. Now, let's get into this GQ PR stunt here. Okay. Just to give you a quick recap, before I play this clip, Jay-Z has finally spoken out about the sexual assault allegations that have been swirling in the media and GQ magazine. In his recent statement, Mr. Sean Carter denied any wrongdoing. Who's going to admit this shit? I mean, unless there's a video of him actually doing, he's going to deny. Okay, so he denied any wrongdoing and expressed how deeply the accusations have affected both him and his family. Please, it can be a full-blown goddamn rape live video of him raping somebody, and Beyonce dumbass still won't leave Jay-Z. So who the fuck cares at this point? Okay? So he emphasized his belief in the importance of due process and the need for the truth, or just intimidate the witnesses and scare them to death until they lie and say they lied about the whole thing, or send the IRS behind them, or blacklist their channels and shut it down and have people following him. Yeah. We get it. Sure. We get it. So he emphasized his belief in the importance of due process and the need for the truth to come out, urging everyone not to judge before all the facts are known. Jay-Z's response comes after weeks of speculation and public discussion and him being in the Epstein files and once again witnessing a rape and being partake of it, but no, he didn't do it. And he says he remains committed to his family and his work while the situation unfolds. I must say, he has gone, this is kind of weird. Y'all find this kind of weird, though? I mean, look how far he's going with this whole little trying to prove his innocent kind of thing. Interesting. I'm sweating and I'm thinking. I'm not sweating, but, this is a nice emoji. Interesting. I got to put my thinking thing up here. I got to, hold up. Yeah, we got to put this up here. Okay, so he has never gone as openly this far to defend himself. I have more words, but, take a look at this clip, you guys, because this is really interesting. Very, very interesting. Do I have a clip? I don't even know. Let me see. Here we go.
Jay-Z is finally clearing the air on all the talk that he picked Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl just to take a shot at Drake, and he's basically saying, y'all got it all wrong. In a new GQ interview, he made it real clear this had nothing to do with the Drake beef and had everything to do with Kendrick having a huge year. In his words, he said, I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice, adding, it wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. What I care about them two guys battling, what's that got to do with me? Have at it, have fun. He went on to say, they drag everybody in it. Like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake. I guess, but it's like, what the like what? I'm Jay-Z. All due respect to them. I'm ho, respectfully, for what? He also pointed out Kendrick and Drake had already been beefing way before. It just happened to hit its peak around the time he made the Super Bowl call. Now, if we're talking Super Bowl performances, y'all know people had a lot to say about Bad Bunny, so Jay-Z actually spoke on that as well. He said his goal had been to open up the halftime stage and reflect what music actually looks like today. He said for a lot of years, it was only one side of music that was being represented for whatever reason, adding, we got the opportunity to create a more balanced idea of what popular music is today. Jay-Z is basically saying the Super Bowl is about who was running the game at the time and not just picking sides in a rap beef. So what do you guys think? Do you think Jay-Z's being honest about his Super Bowl pick, or do you think he picked Kendrick with a little bit of slight towards Drake?
Well, y'all know how the hell I feel. I don't have to clarify what I feel. Okay, you said they're cousins. Who's cousin? Kendrick and Jay-Z are cousins? The Grand Canyon. I know Grand Canyon is Egypt. I love your name. Okay, and let's go through some random news here. Okay, here we go. Now, this random news is so random. I just want to kind of change the pace before we get into some brain food here. Because, you know, I got you guys covered. Make sure you get to hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, so these are particular confessions from celebrities and their awkward kisses on screen. I just thought it was pretty interesting to settle down because we went really high in news. And I want to kind of simmer down a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, simmer down. Let's calm down. Let's just take it a little easy for a second, okay? Just for a sec, okay? Before we sit back and get deep and you have to stop on your, well, you get the truth. All right, so Kirsten called, these are celebrities and how they felt kissing other celebrities. Because we think it is all good on screen, but it isn't. They are human. I keep telling you, celebrities are human. They're not more immortals. They're not gods and goddesses. They're human. They just so happen to have a career in front of the screen. They have feelings. A lot of them are pretty drastically similar to ours. You know, some of them who has some kind of childhood. So Kirsten called kissing Brad gross because she was 11 years old and he was 29. Remember Kirsten Dunst? She played in a lot. She's been in Hollywood since she was a little kid too. And they actually paired her with some pretty young, not young, I'm sorry, some older characters as well. You know what I mean? So she had to kiss Brad when she was 11. And she said it was gross because she was on the 11. And Brad being okay to kiss her, you know, we'll open that can of worms another day. So here's what she said. She said, I hated it so much, she told Entertainment Tonight, because I don't know, Brad was like my older brother on the set. It's kind of like kissing your brother. It's weird because like he's an older guy and I had to kiss him on the lips, so it was gross. She wouldn't even see the pedophilia in this kiss because, you know, when you're young in Hollywood like that, age don't matter apparently. And even at her age, she's still not, you know, what, we're going to go ahead and let that ride. Anyway, here is another kiss that was very inappropriate, okay? Kate. Yeah, I know Kate Hudson. She's a daughter of Goldie Hawn. You know what I mean? Huge fan of Kate. Huge fan of Kate. And remember I told you Matthew McConaughey used to be my crush until I saw that he had slit lips. So that crush went out the window. I have lips and like kissing and he doesn't have. And so I'm still a fan of his work. I just don't find him attractive anymore. So Kate and Matthew was her worst on-screen kiss. So she said, the thing is, every time I kiss Matthew McConaughey, it's like there's just something happening. There's snot or wind. This is when they were in the Fool's Gold, which was a very good movie, by the way. There's snot or wind or things are just like when we were kissing in the end of Fool's Gold, we're in the ocean. We like had the plane crash. She told Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop Podcast with the Laugh. He just had snot all over his face. She also said their dynamic could feel a little sibling, which didn't help. She see them as a sibling, you know, like a brother or something, and kissing them was disgusting, even though they had some pretty crazy chemistry and passionate scenes. But she said it just made her feel uncomfortable. But, you know, very well, because I would have never thought that. I swear. They're very good actresses, I'm telling you. I don't know. Man, the stuff that I read from back in the day, they didn't care about ages at all. They were having these grown-ass men kissing these young-ass girls. It was disgusting. Don't forget in Family Matters, you know, Laura, they were having her attracted to grown-ass men. And I forget the kissing scene that was with Jaleel White in the casino, a grown-ass woman kissing him. I mean, they didn't even care about ages back in those days. It was kind of disgusting. Okay, here's another one that I thought you guys would have definitely, you know, loved to hear. You know what I'm saying? Yes, me too. Me too. Oh, don't pay attention to that. That's just the auto mod. Don't pay attention to that, Jazz. This is whatever. Okay, so you remember one of my, you know, I'm a huge fan of Will Smith, right? I watch all his movies. Love it to death. Okay, now, one of my favorite movies was this movie he did with Hitch and the crazy chemistry he had with Eva Mendes. Great chemistry. She was in one of his music videos. It was in a rumor they had an affair with one another back in the day. I don't know if that was true or not, but the chemistry was literally off the charts, right? Okay. And they kissed a couple times. So this was she said. She said, Eva's stank breath special apparently caused Wood to do a triple take because when they agreed to kiss, he had to do a triple take because her breath smelled really bad. So Eva told Oprah that she ate a tuna fish. Why would she do that? Ate a tuna fish sandwich with extra onions, and Doritos. Oh my gosh. First of all, the combination is delicious, by the way, but still eating that before a kiss is disgusting, okay? She ate with extra onions and Doritos to calm her nerves before the scene. When Will smelled it, he did a triple take, but after Eva, downed a box of Altoids, he said the kiss was absolutely wonderful. Why would you eat that? I know tuna fish and Doritos are delicious, but why would you eat that knowing you're going to kiss someone? Girl, come on now. That was kind of funny. I thought that was pretty late. Okay, now let's start with the brain food section. I hope you guys are ready for this. This is going to be very, very informative. So give it up for the brain food section because we are about to go deep. Now, tell me if anyone in the comment section heard of the Four Horsemen and the Seven Seals. Have anyone heard of the Four Horsemen? Okay. Okay. Well, let me take you to school then, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go back a little bit. So we're going to talk about the Four Horsemen. Understand this isn't ancient mythology, okay? This is the world right now. War, scarcity, corruption, collapse, and the royals aren't escaping it either. So we are in the middle of this collapsing of corruption. We are in the middle of these horsemen. But I think religious astrologers and pastors and priests or whoever are getting the Four Horsemen completely wrong. So we are going to dive deep into that. And by the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of the Four Horsemen. Well, you're talking about the Headless Horseman, but I think it's one of them in there. I'm not sure, but this is the horseman in the Bible. The horseman in the Bible. You said no. Well, you definitely don't know anybody in this video. End of this live show, I should have said. Okay. The Four Horsemen, the life cycle of an age, because the Four Horsemen represents the passing age of Pisces. I know you guys are tired of me referencing back, but that's not my fault that these stories keep finding me. I don't know. Maybe it's destined for me to write a book about it or be a speaker about it. Who the hell knows? I just know all about this, which is very odd because, I never really cared about it years ago, but now all of a sudden I'm just obsessed with it. And you guys are going to learn as much as I learned. I'm going to tell you everything I learned. Everything I learned, you're going to know. Just want to point that out. Okay, so we are going to start off with the white horse. The white horse in the Bible, okay, is birth, emergence, but it's the beginning of age. Now, The Bible, of course, says it's something else. The white horse isn't destruction, it's initiation. If you guys saw my 7 seals video, please check it out. I definitely break down all the horses seriously. The white horse isn't destruction, it's initiation. With an ancient symbolism means, white, the color white, not Caucasians. No one's pure, no one's whatever. But in ancient symbolism, the white horse meant purity, newness, potential, the start of something, the building of something. That's what the ancient symbolism of the white horse meant. Okay. So the white horse, it meant the birth of an empire. This was the beginning of the religious age of Christianity. This is the building of the empires and religious aspect and blind faith. This is the things of that nature. That's what the white horse represented, the building of religious Christianity, blind faith, empires, male dominancy. That's what the white horse, and whitewashing every fucking thing. Sorry about that. And whitewashing every goddamn thing. So it definitely symbolized the whitewashing of a lot of things. Not just that, but just all of it in general. The expansion, the growth, the birth of the Pisces age. That's what the white horse represented, the birth of the Pisces age. It feeds ambition, expansion, and the building of institutions, almost like a newborn feeding on everything around it to grow. So everything was growing. Empires were growing. Churches was being built. The white commodity being the image of faith and anything purity and angelic was building. The Roman Catholic Church was definitely building its empire, becoming seriously, fiercely to the point it was unstoppable. It was the building of faith, Christianity, religion, which illuminated the white horse. It was being fed by the Pisces age, the building of the Pisces age. That's what the white horse represents. Life, expansion, growth. These are the early stages of Pisces: religious forming, empires rising, systems being built, authority taking shape. The white horse is representation of beginning of life. Yes, the beginning of the age of Pisces. That's what the white horse represented. And then the red horse. People thought the red horse meant, yeah, of course, the red horse came when there was war, bloodshed, power struggles. So once an empire grows, it starts to strain. True or false? Yes. Power creates tension, competition, confliction. The ambition creates conflict. The red horse represents war, violence, internal fighting, bloodshed. That's literally what started happening. Okay. This is the middle stage of an age when the system is strong enough to fight, but unstable enough to fracture. I mean, think of the wars and crusades and conquests, revolutions, and all the blood spilled during the age of Pisces, all the wars that was primarily based on religion and inequality and greed. And these male dominant figures desperately trying to take control of something. That's literally what the red horse came in when war was prominent, potent. It was just being taking place all the time for hundreds. Where'd you get the gist? For a long time, for hundreds of years. Okay. So the white horse grows the system and the red horse bleeds it. Hence the red horse. It was a symbol of war and conflict and bloodshed. That's when the red horse come in. And what happens to blood once it gets old? Can someone tell me in the comment section what happened to the color of blood once it sets and it gets old? What happens to old blood? What happens to drained blood? What happened to a person who got drained from their blood? What happened to their body? What color do they tend to turn to? Can someone tell me in the comment section what color does a person who blood has been drained from their body, what color do they tend to turn to? What are some of the colors? Can y'all tell me in the comment section if y'all are still listening? What time is that? What color does blood turn, or what color does a person turn when blood has been drained from their bodies? What color? Can someone tell me? Okay. Okay. I see. I don't know. Okay. Black. Black. Their bodies turn black and the blood, old blood turns black. The black horse represents scarcity, decline, the late stage. After the blood dries, the system starts to weaken. Exactly. Black and blue or gray. Exactly. So after the blood dries, which is dark black in general, okay? So after blood dries, the system starts to weaken because after the war and all these war conflict and dead bodies and genocide, people join in the power of greed and religion and stupidity or whatever, okay? After all that subsides, death comes, the black horse. The blood dries, the system's weakened now. The black horse represents famine, inflation, economic collapse, scarcity, inequality. So this is the late stage of an age when the system is no longer growing, it's draining. The black horse is a moment when people feel the weight of a dying structure, when prices rises, resources shrinking, corruption exposed, and institutions failing. This is the decline of the Pisces age. When the black horse comes, that means the wars have stopped, the conflict has stopped, and the ending of Pisces is starting to be up. Yes, time is ticking away for the age of Pisces. And then it's the pale horse. Remember, the white horse meant life. You know, it was given life. All the empires and the money and this power commodity. It was giving life to the horse. The red was blood. The black is when the blood dried and things got sucked out of it because all you see is death, suffering. Okay. Now the white horse is pale. The life has been drained from the white horse. So the pale horse, as you see here, means death, collapse, the end of the age. The pale horse isn't about supernatural death. It's the death of the system, which means the end of the Pisces age. Pale means ashen, sickly, lifeless. So this is the final stage, the collapse of the old world, the end of the age, the moment when the system can no longer sustain. The pale horse is the death of Pisces, not the end of the world, the end of the cycle. People say when you see the pale horse, the Bible stops at the end of Pisces. The Revelation speaks of the transition. There's no metaphors. Our metaphors do not collide with their metaphors at the time. What you see is what you get. Okay. So the pale horse is the death of Pisces, not the end of the world, the end of the cycle, because the life has been drained out of it. It bled. The blood is dried up now, so it didn't turn black, blue, and all kinds of dark colors practically. There's no life anymore. It's pale. It's dead. It's old. That's what the pale horse, end of the Pisces age. When you see the pale horse, that's what it means. Now, here's where it gets deep. Once these four horses has been pretty much brought forth and they have passed, the four horses gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. We had our wars. Now we're in a transition. That's when the four angels in the age of Aquarius start to come up. So we have Revelation talks about the four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, which can happen on the globe earth, but we ignore that little whole shtick for now. People read that literally, but ancient symbolism reads it astrology, because remember ancient symbolism and Egyptians and all the older people from our old ancestral time, they got their knowledge from the stars. They read the stars. The stars were their teachers. The stars is where they pretty much learned a lot of things at. They studied the stars, not what the fuck we're studying right now, which is, who knows. So we study the stars and they study, we study biblical teachers and pastors and priests and their bullshit ass lies. But back then they studied stars. That's what they did back then. They studied the stars. So the four corners correspond to the four fixed zodiac signs: Leo, the lion; Taurus, the bull; Scorpio, the eagle; or the Scorpion. Aquarius, what considering the Bible pretty much eliminated all female figures, because in ancient times they'll tell you, all historians and astrologers and stuff and archaeologists would tell you that women only carry buckets, not men. Just want to point that out. So the Aquarius meant the woman with the bucket. Just gonna point that shit out there before they eliminated women. So the woman, they all stood at four corners of the earth. The four signs from the fixed cross, when they come, that means the Pisces age has passed. Okay. Now the fixed cross, which anchors the age of Aquarius. So symbolically, the four horsemen is the life cycle of Pisces. The four angels is the guardian of the Aquarius age. Four horsemen, the life cycle of Pisces age. The four angels, the guardians of the Aquarius age, which is Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So you're watching one age die and another age rise. So when the four angels on the four corners of the earth come about, that's when the Aquarius age has officially arrived. And we are there. That is the fixed cross. Cross did not mean religious aspect. Cross is the closing and combined and seal of something. That's what the cross meant in ancient times, not symbolically, angelic, whatever. We can say, in Christian times, the closing, concealing could mean the closing, concealing of the truth, which they so dominantly are. I want to point that shit on out there. So anyway, so you're watching, once again, one age die and another age rise. That's not prophecy, not doom. That is just cosmic symbolism, describing human cycles, literally. Now, I know a lot of you saw my short video, but I'm going to bring it up again because I'm just going to do that. Okay. Thank you, hello. Okay, let me put some of your comments up here. I'm so sorry, I was in the zone. Okay, let's see here. Saying yes to the Four Horsemen, not the seven shields. It's the seven seals. Yes, seven seals. Oh, you said that one already. Okay. Yes, my prairie sisters. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Take a look at this clip. I already have the clip in short, but I'm going to play it again just in case. Okay.
Let me show you something about the Four Horsemen.
Oops, sorry. Let me play it again. Hold on just a moment.
Let me show you something about the Four Horsemen you've never heard before. What if the horsemen aren't literal beings, but the four stages of life inside the age of Pisces? The white horse is the beginning, the birth of empires, religion, and authority. It feeds on growth, expansion, and building systems. Then the red horse appears, the bloodshed, the wars, the conflict that comes from maintaining those empires. When the blood dries, the system draining itself. And finally, the pale horse, the death of the age, the collapse of the old world order. Now here's the twist. Revelation's four angels aren't destroyers. They're the stabilizers, the four fixed zodiac signs: Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius. They hold the winds steady as we shift into the age of Aquarius. So no, the horsemen aren't coming. They already came. We're watching the end of Pisces and the beginning of Aquarius.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that made sense. So just to sum it up, just in case you didn't get that, the four horsemen in the Bible represents the age of Pisces, and the four angels are the guardians of the age of Aquarius. When they arrive, which they already have, when they hold power to each corner of the earth, which is not around Earth, but never mind. So that's when the age of Aquarius has officially arrived. We already seeing the uprises in the age of Aquarius. We've seen a lot of Aquarius coming up root. They are obsessed with them all over the internet. The zodiac and their mannerisms is weird. We're seeing a lot of Leos taking up root. You know, Aquarius is ranging from Kerry Washington to Brandy starting to come up. Alicia Keys is starting to get her little limelight. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, name it, all of them. They're starting to come up in the limelight now, you know, when they have been hibernation along with the rest of our Aquarius for the last 5-10 years. Okay. Leos from, you know, Angela Bassett to Meghan Markle, she's going to be worshipped, literally. Jennifer Lopez trying to get her groove back. And so on and so forth with that. Scorpios, even though you're a sun and moon, you still going to probably get worship, but, you know, primarily your sun, because you can see that during the day. Sun is bright. You get the gist. And then you have our Tauruses as well, who also is being praised. You know, Malcolm X speeches are being praised and pretty much brought up again. He's a Taurus. And I don't really know a lot of Tauruses. I didn't go back and look at it a lot. I'm gonna be real with you. If you know any Tauruses, they are extremely famous. The point of matter is Tauruses are going to start coming into the limelight as well. Especially primarily their sun is a Taurus. Moon too, but you know, primarily the suns. So that is definitely going to be uprighting. And Leo, we have Leo, the what is that? The Pope Leo. I mean, gosh, there's the Leo right there. Obama is a Leo. So you're going to see a lot of those as well. So we have Aquarius and Leo definitely taking fruition in their stance drastically. Okay. And Scorpios, whether it's bad press or good press. Bad press, P. Diddy. His story is never going to go away. Thanks to this age, it's going to be taking fruition like over and over and over again. It's going to be crazy. And I think Prince Harry is a Scorpio too. I think Prince Harry is a Scorpio and his wife, of course, Meghan, is a Leo. So they're going to be worshipped like crazy. So that is definitely the signs of the four corners, the angels, the four corners taking their place and making sure the Aquarius age, the fixed cross of these signs are standing on their four corners and making sure Aquarius age stands like the four horses brought the symbolically age of the Pisces. These four ages are going to take the symbolic age of this. The seven seal is broken. We are currently in 5 or 6, I believe. Just check out that video, the 7 seals. I made an entire video. I'll try to leave the link at the end. I'm not going to do it until they finish processing this live video and they take all freaking year doing it. But I'll leave the link in the description box and I'll put it with the timestamps as well. So in closing, the Four Horsemen aren't coming. They already came. They already came. They were the 4 stages of the age of Pisces. And the 4 angels, okay, are arrived. They're the fixed signs of Aquarius holding the wind steady as we enter a new era. So that's currently where we're at the moment, okay? The Aquarius is coming. This is rising. And the Pisces is gone. It's leaving. The 4 horsemen is riding, galloping along. Hence horsemen. That was ancient anyway. So there we are. And just to let you know, considering this is the age of Aquarius, that means flat earthers are probably going to be more prominent than ever. A lot of truth is going to be revealed. People are going to start revealing the truth about themselves. We're going to see the authenticity of a lot of people. Like I told you before, they're going to speak truth even though they're not trying to. You definitely want to see a lot of empires being exposed because they're not going to be able to hold structure in this age because it's age of authenticity and you can't be fake. You just can't. I mean, technology exposes a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? The veil is lifted. A lot of people are seeing a lot of things for as truly is. And I'm out. Thanks, everyone, for staying throughout the duration of this video. Don't forget to like, and share. And give me at least an hour to get the timestamps up there. Other than that, it's been real. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
We see you. We remember. I am the storm. I am the silence. I am the truth unveiled. Yourself.